Hi guys, in today's video we'll be talking about what is ageloc technology. So in order to understand what is ageloc technology, we must understand gene expression. So we all know that gene is like the DNA, we all have that. Most humans' DNA is slightly off because of hair color, eye color, skin color, but most of our DNA is pretty much the same. But we need to understand that the DNA express differently. So right now we're gonna see in this video that a professor from a university explaining to us what is gene expression, because genes can express differently in different environments. So let's hear what this professor has to say.
DNA that encode particular functions, particular proteins, are expressed all the time. So under different conditions, different segments of the DNA get translated into messenger RNA carrying the message from the DNA to make proteins. And then these proteins are the effectors that actually produce the changes in the cells that allow them to do the job that they do. So when we talk about gene expression, we're talking about a series of molecular events that allow particular parts of the DNA to be read out and contribute to the function of cells, of course, including nerve cells, neurons in the brain.
So in simple terms, that we're telling you that the genes can be expressed differently because it's always expressing. But what does it express and can we influence it? Let's take a look what Dr. Berg has to explain to us. Dr. Berg will explain what is epigenetics. So it's the expression of genes. Here we go.
Another example would be sheet music, okay, for a song on the piano. You have all these different notes in a certain sequence, and the sheet music is basically the instructions on how to create the song. But you need someone to do something with that music. You need someone to play the CD. That's epigenetics. Epigenetics means above genetics. The DNA or gene is not set in stone. So just because you have certain genetics doesn't mean anything. It's really the epigenetics. It's really your environment, okay? So the environment is what triggers turning on or turning off these genes.
So this is a key thing. We learned about that genes express differently, their expression, the gene expression. But now epigenetics is telling us that the environment that these genes are in that influence them turning on and off. So this is a key thing that we need to understand in order to understand what is ageloc technology. So first we have DNA, second we have the gene expression, and then now we have the epigenetics, which is the environment that influence the genes expressing differently.
And what I'm talking about is activating the gene to turn on, to be turned into a certain protein and do a certain function. If something is not turned on, it's silenced, okay, it turns it off, versus turning it on, which means that gene is expressed. So expressed means turn on, silence means turned off. Now some triggers with epigenetics would be your environment, like what you eat, the nutrients in the food, when you eat, and when you're not eating, fasting, temperature, cold, heat, the stress level, sleep.
So here, another key ingredient that we need to understand is that he talks about how genes are turned on and off and producing different proteins. But these proteins are, these on and off environment is based on what we eat, what we don't eat, the temperature, the heat, the stress, the sleep, the exercise that we do, the mood, our age. So all these is the environment. There's an environment in our body and around our genes, signaling them going on or off. So keep all this in mind because it's very, very important.
Your age will affect your genes. So it's really only 1% of the genetics that differentiates us from someone else. And this is important to understand because you have to realize that you are in charge of your DNA, okay? You're not so at the effect of these genes as you might think. You can do something about these genes, and it has to do with your environment and what you eat, what you don't eat, your fasting, your stress level, your recovery, all right?
So in simple terms, like Dr. Berg has said, that our environment, what we eat, what our temper, our feelings, our thoughts, our mood, our exercise, everything plays in a big part what we're turning on in our body. And there are certain genes that are for our aging, some are for young genes. So we want to know what we're doing to our body, what environment we're providing them. So in another video, Courtney Griffins in the TED Talk explains we are actually in control of our genes, or how we can influence our genes to express. So here another video.
We can do now to positively influence our epigenome. It's not too late. It's not too late to start eating healthier foods that we already know are good for us, like leafy vegetables, whole grains, avoiding cigarettes, cocaine, stress, all of which have been shown experimentally to impact our epigenomes negatively. These are things that you can do to impact your genes and your long-term health. And if that's not incentive enough, they can also impact the health of your future children and grandchildren. I think this concept that we can positively impact our genes is really profound and empowering, because we always work under the assumption that our genes are set in stone, that they're beyond our influence. I want to end today by challenging you and myself to take the opportunity that we have before us to positively impact our long-term health by treating our epigenome kindly through healthy lifestyle decisions. Thank you.
So again, Courtney Griffins here talked about how we have the control over how our genes are being expressed. So this goes all the way back to what is ageloc? Well, ageloc is pretty much the blueprint, the blueprint of all the genomes, how it is expressed positively, how we turn it on or how we turn it off. But in the key focus of beauty and aging and anti-aging. So we bought out a company called the LifeGen Technology, which did all these research, 30 years of research of every genes, what influences it, what environment turns it on, what environment turns it off, or all the way on. So these are all the data and research that we have bought. And now through this research, through the ingredients that we test these create these environment for these genes, we made it into product, not only for our face, but supplements as well, targeting different gene groups, because not only one gene will let you have like white hair or saggy skin, or you feeling tired all the time and like low energy. So all these are signs of aging, but it's not just by one gene, but it's a group of genes. So through gene expression and epigenetics, we understand that giving the right environment for our genes is a crucial part. And through the ageloc technology, through the studies and the data we have shown, we know which ingredients to give our body, our face, our skin, to create the best environment for them, to upregulate, to turn on the young genes, to turn on whatever the anti-aging genes are, and turn down the aging genes. So this is what ageloc technology really is. And because now we can influence them, and we can prove by science that we can influence them, all these products that we're using, that you see the ageloc logo, that is what you're using. We are targeting the gene expression related to that specific area of aging. Let's say if it's for your face, there's wrinkles, there's saggings, there's fat, there's many different signs of aging. And for our body, the supplements, it could be gaining weight, getting harder to lose weight. Our cardio is not as good. Our physical energy is not always up at the par. Our energy, our batteries dying, like all these are signs of aging. So we have different products with the ageloc logo telling you that if you have this aging symptoms, we have this ageloc product targeting a gene expression for this particular aging symptom. So I hope today's video helped you understand what is ageloc technology, and from going into gene expression to epigenetics to gene expression, we are able to influence it so that our genes express in a younger way or older way. So if you have any more questions, please leave me a comment below. I'd love to connect with you and answer more of your questions. If you have something that you want me to go over, leave me a comment below as well. I'd love to answer more of your questions and provide you a better picture of what you're using and why these products are so amazing. Until next time, remember, you're beautiful. See ya.